Let me say a fantastic good Monday morning to one and all. Welcome to another edition of To The Point. Today being Monday, the 30th of October 2023. Good morning to everyone. Hope all is well with you and yours this morning. Hope you had a great weekend. Looking forward towards a productive week ahead of us. Those of you viewing via GBN TV, welcome also. Hope you're doing A-OK. Happy viewing. Those of you via social media platforms, whether it's the Facebook page, YouTube channels, good morning, welcome. What about those who will listen? Those folks always tell me I'm listening via the webpage, GBN's webpage, gbn.gd. Good morning to you and thanks for being with us once again. It's To The Point for today, Monday, and it's going to be an open line for folks for us today. Don't have, of course, my usual co-host. I like to refer to him as that. That's Mr. Silver McIntyre. He's not going to be with us today, and so he sends his apology for not being with us today, and certainly will join us again next week once all is well. All right. So don't forget, folks. So we're going to have an open line this morning, which means you are free to give me that call, 435-2041, 435. There's lots we can talk about this morning, lots we can talk about in terms of your usual concerns that you have this morning. There's probably something that's probably happened over the weekend, and you want to, of course, bring it to light this morning. Maybe you have a solution for an issue that may have occurred, and you want to just, of course, make some remarks related to this morning. Lots happening, folks. Don't forget, tomorrow we have the 50th anniversary of independence. We have the official launch of tomorrow, and certainly hope you folks are geared up to go on out and participate. Don't forget, there are some traffic regulations that also we may have to adhere to tomorrow before the actual launch. So again, most of the daytime you're free to move around, but when the launch is going to take place on the Carnage. So just a little after 4 p.m. there'll be a bit some change in the traffic arrangement, so folks take note of that. Those of you who drive along the nation roads, don't forget, drive along with due care and attention. I beg of you to do so. Pay attention. Don't forget the traffic lights are on. Yes, and for some reason or the other, it's been a couple of months. You haven't been paying attention to it, and then it's on now. So pay attention to the traffic lights, and get yourself reacquainted, if I could say that. 435-2041. That's the number. You can give me that call if you want to get on live with me this morning. Let me get my phone disengaged and entertain our first caller this morning. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Hello.
Good morning to you, sir.
Yeah, well, my concern is about a man will commit a murder in Grenada, and they will charge him for non-capital murder. If you're in the prison around these fellas and them, if you hear how they speak, why will kill you and get a non-capital murder? Me coming and spend more time here. You have men, they kill one already, they kill another one, and what they're doing, they're looking to get leniency for whatever they need. I'm trying
to get where you're going at, Cole. I'm trying to get in terms of, you just started off, so I'm trying to get in terms of what really is the concern that you have or having.
No, what I'm saying is that fellas have it as a hobby, killing people. You understand? You have people in jail who lecturing them how to do this and how to do that.
Oh, really?
And they feel, well, when they do it, you always have somebody to take them out and for them to get out. I wish the authority could look into that.
All right. All right, caller. Thanks for your concern, and certainly hope, well, that is something to be a concern about, I guess. Seems like folks are talking with no remorse or anything of the sort in terms of crimes they may have committed. That's another story there altogether. 435-2041. 435. Feel free to give me that call if you want to chime in on today's program, folks. It's an open line. 435-2041. Good morning to those of you who are driving along on the nation's roads. Good morning. Drive with due care and attention. Yeah, be a defensive driver. Looking for the other drivers. Looking for the pedestrians who are also walking along this morning. And certainly hope that all will be well. Let's entertain another caller. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
What I've noticed, when people call, people have a tendency to either oppose what the people have said, but the people that oppose have nothing to build up onto or to support their opposition. That is what is happening. They just say things because they want to criticize the person. Anyhow, let me tell you my substantial statement. Most people, they call and they believe all what they say is truth. And I've already said, a point is an established fact. In other words, all over the world knows it, or the majority. I look at you as a man because you have certain features that likely made you a man. So when I say I'm making a point, I will talk about 2 and 2 is 4. And I will talk about maybe when a ball go into the air, how it remains there for some time, and so on, so on, so on. These are points. But when you're calling to give your opinion are not likely to be points. But some people hold it to, I say that, and it's right. Sometimes when I say certain things, it mightn't be right. But because of my thinking, I believe it's right. Anyhow, it's time that we understand. Even this morning, I listened to a program. That's what I like to listen to assess us. Now I listened and I heard 800,000 people died or was killed in the Gaza. Imagine, just maybe a quarter of the population, or less than a quarter of the population of Grenada is being killed, murdered. Isn't that real misery for the people of there? I understand a lady said they call her and tell her to move out from one area to the other, and she cannot pass. We in Grenada, we are happy. We beg for food, we get food. We beg for money, we get money. We beg that the government can help us, they help us. So we are good, but we have to try to support ourselves by doing work, not begging. Too many of us are begging and believe that those who have the right to give them. Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much also. 435-2041, 435-2041. We're moving down 10 minutes after the 9 o'clock hour this morning. On to the point. It's an open line, that edition this morning, which means you're free. Our listeners and viewers, feel free to give me that call. Good morning to your caller. Welcome.
Yeah, good morning, GT. Morning to your listeners and morning to your viewers. And hope that you have a very pleasant and productive week. Hello, everybody who's listening. I want to continue from where I left off this morning. I asked a question to I raised an issue based on a point that one of the speakers said about, in our time, or in his time, we walked 5 and so miles to go to school. And while I admit that is correct, there was a time when we didn't have so much vehicles on the road. You would lamenting the fact that children are taking bus from here to there, which is not good from a health point of view. But maybe that is good for a sort of safety point of view, because recklessness on the road, I mean, leaves a lot to desire. I have had a number of people, including a brother who was killed on the road in my time, and there wasn't many vehicles now. And we have also careless, ruthless, I mean, purposeless people driving on the road. And I shiver sometimes when I think about the danger the children face. And in maneuvering, even adults have a problem in maneuvering the road. So that's a difficulty that we have to address. If we can make the road a little more safer, then we could encourage more people to drive. To walk. But I myself, for some years now, have not felt comfortable walking the road. I've nearly been bounced down many times. And I'm getting older, and maybe I'm not being able to maneuver as I could have early on. And it's very dangerous. So it's one thing saying by the children not taking the bus, not walking, but another thing, the danger they face, and we have to address that. Now, my substantive point has to do with Gaza. The situation in Gaza had some resemblance to what happened in Grenada 40 years ago. The only thing is about scale. You have a mighty power, comes in, user protect, was planning, had the intention of doing what they did on October 25th, and use a situation where they helped, they helped to happen in terms of creating the tension, the fear, the paranoia among our people, and then came in and justifying the invasion. My difficulty is how our people have continued to ignore the fact that people were killed, innocent people were killed, particularly in the mental hospital, and all the soldiers who were not even in the line of firing. So, and also our historical depository in Radio Free Grenada. And we are considering that nothing, everything happened, things were turned back to the fact. And in fact, the problem that the new government solved in terms of the pension, there was a result, it arose out of the invasion because it stopped. It punctured a process that the previous government was doing. So if we tend to ignore a one-man crime and seek to punish another one, something is wrong. If you're going to punish crime, let's punish all the crimes, including by the strong and mighty. And it's unfortunate that CARICOM, with the exception of Dr. Rav Gonzalez, have remained silent, virtually silent. I see a video with the Buju Bantam challenging the Jamaican government for saying that Jamaica have condemned Hamas, but not condemning Israel. Something is wrong with our mentality in this part, and it seems as though we are frightened of mighty powers, and then we babble and bark at each other. It's sad, but we need to wake up. And GT, as I close, somebody had asked, a few people had asked that your entity create an opportunity for conversation on that issue, the Gaza issue, because we can't sit down and see that mass murder and take it as normal because the power that's behind it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much also. 435-2041. And I hear your concern, and I'm sure the folks in the managerial part of the station will look into it and certainly have a program that will address the issues that you speak of. 435-2041. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning. You're welcome.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
All right. I just have 2 points to make which I've made before, and I don't know if the authorities heard it, but I hope that they will get the message
Mm-hmm.
I born and bred and grew up in the Grand Mall area.
Yeah.
And there is a serious problem with, I call the names and I'll call it again. Rubis, Saul, Grenlec, and the government of Grenada. And what I'm trying to say is that you have ships coming in and deliver oil to the country. I believe these entities make the most money in Grenada. And you have workers, Grenadian workers, serving the country diligently. And they can't they cannot put a proper toilet facilities in place for the workers. I think that is degrading. I mean, we have women custom officers who have to go in the bush when they want to urinate in Grand Mall. Or they have to go and beg somebody if they could use a washroom.
Really?
I'm telling you, you do your research on it. And you tell me where all these places where the ships are, they put all kind of security to protect the fuel lines. But they cannot put something in place for a Grenadian worker who is serving the country diligently. I think that's a disgrace. Secondly, what I want to talk about is the vending. I talked about it quite a few months ago. There's a lot of people in Grenada who have properties and they are paying taxes every year for it and they cannot use it. And the reason I cannot use it is because there were so many boulders or big stones on the property. I think the government could look into the possibility of a lot of the big stones we have on lands where people are paying taxes for. If they look at the Melville Street area, from the fish market, come up to the river road, the bridge, and they backfill that area there with boulders, and this they're doing in such a way it become a defense as well as it becomes an area for they could put all the vendors in there that is vending on the streets in Grenada, put proper facilities in place, and at the end of the day, we will not see what is happening in St. George's at the moment. With all these amount of vendors all on the sidewalks and people have to navigate themselves through. I know there is, if you look at St. George's and how it is now, there is not any way they could think of to put them. But if they create an area for them, and that could be probably an idea that I came up with a few months ago or years ago, and I mentioned it, but nothing had been done. They could use these boulders and then cover it over and make it look nice and put the vendors there, even though the vendors have to pay a small fee to use it. Thank you very much.
Point taken, caller. Thank you so much for your contribution this morning, and I certainly hope someone in authority is listening, and I'll probably take your ideas into some consideration. 435. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. How are you this morning?
I'm good. How was your weekend?
Pretty good. Pretty good weekend.
Well, I have a concern, and I would like to air it on your program. There was an event in Guelph yesterday in the Cuthbert Peters Park, and it's okay for any politician or any political organization to host the events. But my point is, why would I come and listen to you if there's nothing good you can teach me? What you going to tell me? Treat your husband or your wife like they are nobody? Change the lock on the door? Leave your husband or leave your wife? All you should do better than that. Set some example for the younger generation to follow. You could name them on your both hands, on your both fingers. Mostly all of them leave their husband or their wife. Where is the example? JT, have a good day, please.
Have a good morning, caller. 435-2041. 435-2041. We due for a break. Let's take our first break in this segment. When we do come back, we entertain more of your calls and, of course, listen to your contributions this morning. We're coming right back after the break.
Your life is yours, your future's in your hands, your body is That's why you need a plan. You gotta plan your family, avoid HIV, get the education from the Grenada Planned Parenthood Association. We offer STI screening, gender-based violence counseling, prenatal and postnatal checks, injectables, condoms, pap smears, and other sexual reproductive services. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. The Pointe Street, St. George's. Whether male or female, it doesn't matter. We're here to make your life better. Grenada Planned Parenthood Association. For appointments, call 440-3341.
On this episode of Caribbean Passport TV, we travel to St. Kitts and Nevis, visit a cocoa estate in Trinidad and Tobago, and listen to some steel pan music. And then we'll wind down with some paintings, right here on this station.
Our Climate Reality Key Takeaways is made possible by Republic Bank.
This is our planet. It's our home. We all have a stake in ensuring its protection and preservation, not just for ourselves, but for future generations. And Republic Bank is very pleased to be leading that charge through our policies, our processes, our products, and our projects. And so if you or your community group have an idea that specifically focuses on a project that would aim at reducing the impact of climate change and helping to develop resilient climate adaptive infrastructure, please reach out to us. Submit your proposal to rbgdinfo@rfhl.com. You can get additional information from our website, republicgrenada.com.
Financing for your solar project is not hard to get. Just give us a call, 444-2265. Speak to any one of our loan officers, and we can guide you in the direction which you need to go.
Accountability is extremely important, not because it's grant funds. We will just make any crazy rash decision. Because it is the taxpayers' money that we have to manage and ensure that it's invested in what it is assigned to. So grant money is not free money, although people see that way. It has to be invested for the benefit of the whole community. And that is the principle that we function on.
Climate change is real. We must act now.
Welcome back, well, listeners of Classic Radio, or viewers of GBN TV, those of you via our social media platforms, whether it's the Facebook page, YouTube channels, good morning, welcome back. It's another edition of To The Point for today, Monday, the 30th day of October. It's an open line edition this morning. Feel free to give me that call, 435-2041. We have lost that caller, 435-2041, and make a contribution in terms of there's probably an opinion you want to share, of course, and you feel free to do so. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning, welcome.
Hello.
Good morning to you, sir. Go right ahead, please.
The male caller that called and suggested that they should collect stones and dump the area by Melville Street there. I support that because a man said that he reclaimed land and the land now belongs to him. So if that particular man could do that, I don't see why the government cannot do that, because we have enough stones to dump the area. At the same time, maybe they have to make some kind of a study as to what would happen to the sea water and how it would affect other areas in the vicinity. But it's a very, very good suggestion. And then we could put another suggestion. As I've already said, we have a lot of deep buildings that have been somewhat wrecked in the heart of St. George. And I look at government, as you know, they have the right to acquire and pay for these buildings, which they acquire. We have a lot of them in St. George's, so in front of Apostles building there, spaces. We have an occupied building, which have been there for years and nothing been done. Government could ask the people to either sell this building to them or to rent them the spot and open more places where they could put most of the vendors.
You're right.
A few weeks back, a lady said that when something happens on this street, on the sidewalk, I had that in mind, that I would like you to sue either the person, if my eyes with this big umbrella is being affected by their having the umbrella. Either you sue the people or you sue government, but somebody has to pay. If it's not a written law, but it ought to be authentic. In other words, it must be true. You have a right to sue somebody who is not taking care of the place for you to pass freely. A lot of us are laughing at that man, Mr. Rolo, but he's right. And they laugh at people who have good ideas. Some people might be laughing at me now, or Jane. Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. 435-2041. Open line this morning here on To The Point. Feel free to give me that call. If you do have, of course, an issue that you may like to speak of, you have a concern that you would like to, of course, share this morning, feel free to do so. 435-2041. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
Yeah, GT, I want to add to the conversation on whether we should put stones, take out the stones from the land and put it in the sea. What the caller from Grandma said seems to be a good idea. But I want to warn, as Dr. Leonard Nurse, former member of the IPCC, Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, at a seminar here years ago, he warned that we should desist from trying to reclaim land because the consequence could be greater than the gain from the land.
All right.
And because you would affect the wave pattern and everything like that. And Antigua had just done something, and they lost that investment when a hurricane came. So we need to address the situation. And I'm sure if we put our heads together, as the previous caller suggests, maybe we could acquire some as a state, acquire some of the buildings in town, properly retrofit them or rebuild them, and make it decent, not like little fall cubes that we have done over the years. And like even since they did a nice market years ago.
All right,
we could do something decent without even trying to go into the sea. But we have to put our heads together and understand that the solution has to come from us and respect each other in the process. But unfortunately, that is not the case right now. But I'm glad that this issue is being raised.
Thank you, caller. Thank you very much.
But let us do it in a way that will not create more problems. Thank you.
All right, have all the best. 435-2041, 435-2041. That's the number. If you want to get on the program this morning, feel free to give me that call. It's an open line this morning. Don't forget the launch tomorrow of the anniversary of our independence, the official launch tomorrow. For folks, you can go on to the Carnage. And don't forget the traffic arrangements also that will take effect just around 3:30, 4 p.m. That traffic arrangement will take effect. All right, so let's entertain another caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Hi, good morning. I'm just calling. My point I just want to bring forward for today is during the election, a party ran on the legalization of cannabis, right? And it's been over a year, right? And I personally voted for the legalization of cannabis. And as a citizen, I feel left out because as a regular citizen, there's been no decriminalization. There's been no education to the police officers, to the public, to anything as to what comes forward.
Yes.
And I believe this is something that is an industry that could benefit not only the casual smoker, but also manufacturers areas and tourism, agriculture, etc. And I just believe that they should put a bit more effort into at least informing the public of their progress towards at least the decriminalization in the first steps, much less legalization.
All right. Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. 435-2041. It's a number if you want to get on to the point this morning. The opportunity for you to share your thoughts, share your opinions on issues that may be of concern to you. 435-2041. You also have the option of sending me a message via the WhatsApp, via the same number, 435-2041. You can go to the Facebook page. Those of you who are listening there, you can also share your comments via the Facebook page, 435-2041. That's a number if you want to get on the program this morning. And listening to various calls this morning, everyone have sharing their opinion on different issues. Feel free, if you have an issue that you may like to share this morning, feel free to do so. Caller, good morning. You're welcome. Caller, good morning. Welcome. Guess that caller doesn't want to get on the program this morning. 435-2041. Let's take some comments via the Facebook page. Antonio, as usual, kicking off with a lengthy comment this morning. In Grenada, we have a VA habit of wishing people bad, or using words using words as they get what they deserve. And I want to remind us that the Bible talk about speaking good words to others, because when you digging a pit, don't dig one but two. Yesterday I happened to I happened to listen to a woman on a radio station making those statements, and I think it's a dangerous statement to get get a little mix up with the words there. I think it's a dangerous statement to make. I think that's what you're trying to make. And as an elderly person, should be careful of statements. All right. 435-2041. My bad for having the phone disengaged. 435-2041. It's already moving up to 27 minutes before 10 o'clock. Let's take a break. We come back with more of your calls here on To The Point this morning. Stay with us, folks.
There, Grenada. Exciting news taking flight. Get ready to...
Our Climate Reality Key Takeaways is made possible by Republic Bank.
I would encourage everybody to, in their own small way, find a way to adapt to climate change. It could be you saving your tap water. So it's not supposed to be a very big thing or a big technological thing to do, but find something small to also reduce climate change or reduce your carbon footprint.
Yeah, I think it's highlighting the importance of information dissemination. So that's why I congratulated this program. And there are various channels that this information can be obtained. For people to be involved, when we're talking about youth, for instance, we are talking about the biggest impact of climate change is going to hit another generation. So it is important to have data and to have information accessible to people.
People should get involved in this process. It should be everyone coming together collectively and saying we can do, whether it's CSO, private sector, communities, children, youth, could come together and say this is our plan to reduce emissions, and feel welcome in the process and making such a decision.
We invite you to join us again next Wednesday for another episode of Our Climate Reality.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers, to The Point for today, Monday, the 30th of October. Once again, it's an open line. Let's go to the phone line. Caller, good morning. Lost that caller there for some reason or the other. I'm not sure if it's my issue or the caller is just a little bit impatient. 435-2041, 435-2041. That's a number if you want to get on the program this morning. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning. You're welcome. Good morning to you, caller. Hello, good morning. Guess there's no one there. Hey, folks, it's an open line edition of To The Point for today, Monday. If you do have a contribution to make this morning in terms of a comment, some way or the other, feel free to do so, folks. You may have an opinion you may wish to share. Feel free to do so also. We also have other options in terms of the WhatsApp and the Facebook page, the comment section of the Facebook page. You can also send me a message via WhatsApp 435-2041. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning. You're welcome.
Hello.
Good morning to you, sir.
A previous caller talked about the legalization or the decriminalization of marijuana. Does that make any sense? No smoking ain't good for your health at all. Whether you smoke cigarettes, weed, or what. Smoking is dangerous. I condemn the legalization or decriminalization of marijuana because if they do that, man don't want to go by the courthouse or they go by the police. I could go and smoke a spliff in Babylon. That's the way we live in Grenada.
All right.
They won't have no respect for the police, and they want to do it anyway. I wish that the government didn't do that. Okay. All
right, caller, thank you so much for your contribution this morning. And everyone have a right to express their opinion and just do it in a manly way that does not infringe on anyone else. 435-2041. 435-2041. Good morning to Sylviana via the Facebook page. Yes, Mr. Silver McIntyre was unable to be on the program today. He actually sends his apology for being unable to be on the program today. 435-2041. Hopefully once all works out well, he'll be back next week. 435-2041. It's an open line, folks. Have approximately 20 minutes left on today's program, and feel free to call in and share your views and opinions. Good morning to you, caller. Welcome. Caller, so sorry, but I will not be able to accommodate your call. Folks, a bit of reminder, when you want to call, please make sure your radio or your television is turned off. We can have that conversation by the phone. I will hear you clearly, and you will certainly hear me back clearly. And the listeners and viewers will not have that issue of that feedback. Let's entertain another caller. Caller, good morning, welcome.
Hello, sir, morning.
Good morning to you.
Your last caller preempted me a little bit because about to call, he got you instead of me. And I'm not actually endorsing exactly what he's saying, but to an extent, I appreciate what he just said. I've been observing an obsession with the whole issue called marijuana. That plant called marijuana. It's a phenomenon that is taking over the minds of people in this country, apparently in a whole lot of countries at the same time. When marijuana seems to become something that they worship nowadays, and I'm yet to understand what they understand by the whole thing. Hello. Marijuana damages people's brain. There is no question about it. Marijuana slows down your mental process after smoking it. I'm here now instead of talk about what my making fools.
Well, for some reason we are losing you. I'm not sure your location, but you seem to be breaking up, so we're not getting a proper audio coming from you. So maybe you could
a little better now?
Go right ahead, please.
The obsession with marijuana has become a thing that is so, to my mind, obscene. To the extent that this gentleman said he voted for a government or a party to become a government because they campaign on the whole idea of legalizing or decriminalizing marijuana. Here comes an issue, or part of the issue. The decisions, or some of the decisions that the government has been making, for example, the removal of the $150 from the people who have been getting that money through the seed program. After the Prime Minister, in his original dealing with the aspect of the issue, said that he was going to increase from $400 to $650 at least, because that's what the World Bank recommended that the people should be getting. And it's a World Bank program anyhow. He removed $150 when he was the Minister of Finance. There don't hear comment, you don't hear complaint from the person who voted for the government, voted for the party to become the government as a result of promising to legalize marijuana. I mean, what is going on with our people mind in this world nowadays? Marijuana has become too much of an obsession. There are too much more important things to focus on. And I'm disappointed with the government so much when it comes to that idea of legalizing and decriminalizing. Yes, the whole issue of arresting a person for smoking a marijuana, to my mind, has always been a nonsensical thing. But at the same time, what's legalizing marijuana for? To create more problems in the society and the system? I don't go for that. Period. Okay, gentlemen.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. 435-2041, 435-2041. That's the number if you want to get on the program this morning and share your views and concerns. 435-2041. Once again, good morning to those of you who drive along on the Nation Road. You're listening to Classic Radio, or those of you at home or probably at your workplace and you're viewing GBN TV, whether you're viewing channel 711 or channels 20. Good morning. Those of you via our social media platforms, once again, the Facebook page, YouTube channels, good morning. And don't forget, you could also drop a comment via the Facebook page. Certainly will entertain it once it's have some relevance. Caller, good morning. You're welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Telesford, sir. Greetings. How are you?
Doing good, sir.
Very nice weather these mornings. I'll tell you, look, I overshot the pillow this morning. Imagine that. But at least I gathered a little time. Mr. Telesford?
Yes, sir.
So many interesting things in this here country. There isn't a dull moment in this Grenada. But let's go to the meat of the matter. That chap the last caller, they made a significant intervention. Read this marijuana thing. I always say, and it's written, it's in a poem, 1808, by an Englishman, an Englander, he said, this is a Walter Scott. Oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive, Mr. Telesford. We deceive people every day by manipulating them. Those who were, those who are the same thing. A couple of months ago when this issue started again with the new administration, a certain senator gave an individual, a common citizen, the authority to present marijuana trees in public. You recall that, Mr. Telesford? Mm-hmm. To build awareness. And none of them has been locked up. None. Breaching the law openly, Mr. Telesford. This country is a bluff because of hypocrisy and deceit, Mr. Telesford. That is why. But you see, it was born in darkness as we move into the other issue. I understand tomorrow there'll be a launch. We have launched so many things in this here country. It's amazing. The thing is, I learned since I was about that when you launch things and so on, at least the public should have access to it immediately after, but we never have access to things. I do hope that they clarify the issue with the documentation to prove the constitutional, or let's put it this way, to give faith and to show the legitimacy of the Constitution that they boast about, that we are obligated to obey, when in itself the Constitution is not a law. I do trust that they come with the Independence Act. I was told, oh no, not me, the nation was told by Dr. Crawford some weeks ago that they're consulting with the British High Commission to get copies of the document. Just imagine, brothers and sisters, this bluff over 50 years. They're now seeking to get copies of the documentation that gives faith and legitimacy to the Constitution and the independence. In other words, Mr. Telesford, what is that? another farce. But you see, they had the money. They hang on to the tete now when they do the same time in equal cases, and many cases, worse than the previous administration, because these people have no interest in changing anything in Grenada in the interest of the people. All they're concerned about is themselves. The $150. You know, I was contemplating. The reason why I didn't play the recording this morning is because the chap preempted me, the previous caller. The minister on the 22nd of December last year in the budget debate place where she had authority to speak because she was the party she represents, or this, the organization she represented was elected, said our government or my government shall continue to pay. And up to now, nothing. What is that, Mr. Telesford, but lie or manipulation, deceit, Mr. Telesford? What is that? I'm making my references to you as the host of the program, but I'm speaking to Grenada generally. Why, Mr. Telesford? Why? Nothing really has dropped in price in this country, Mr. Telesford. Grenadians know it. Everything in this country, every week you go to the supermarket, you go to the supermarket, something has increased in price, the basic things, even fruit and vegetable, Mr. Telesford. Grains, when I say grains, I refer to legumes, peas and beans and so on, that people, especially old people, have to eat so that they can hold out and so on for a little more time. A little good oil, quality oil, olive oil, and otherwise, Mr. Telesford. Local chicken, fish moves sometimes up to $13, $13 a month. I mean, a pound in this here country. No, they can't feel that because they had to take the riding high and dry. $7 million to spend on independence and jump up and painting stones and trees. I only hope they control the money this time, Mr. Telesford, and I can go on finally. The issue of Palestine. I'm trying to get from our ministry how Grenada voted at the United Nations last Friday. I want to find out. I need to find out, and I hope they would come and tell the Grenadian people. I only hope we were in that 120 people, countries that voted to call on Israel at least to stop killing the innocent people of Palestine. A chap made a mention about 800,000. Oh, my dear brother, I reckon it was a slip of the tongue, but it's 8.3 thousand. No, not 800, okay? I want Grenadians to understand this, and I wish to end by saying this. There are people in this world we have to read. I want to refer Grenadians, the people with certain level of intelligence and so on. And I'd like to call on the radio station again, and the radio stations of the country, to seriously consider creating more magazine programs locally put together to help to educate and uplift the people of this country. We're backward, and because we do not read and we're more social media, with a set of old talk and brango, I urge you people to establish some good programs making references to international authors, thinkers. And so I want to introduce Professor Noam Chomsky to the Grenadians. Many know him. But he, in recent times, some 6 days after that, somewhere on the 13th, did a document, an interview. Noamchomsky, Noam Chomsky, a United States citizen. But he spoke the thing as it is. He gave a history of this entire problem that has been raging through Palestine, the territorial property of the Palestinian people, and the evil perpetrated by Israel, backed by the more evil United States. And note, I'm not saying the United States of America. The name of their country is the United States, not America, nor the United States of America. And Great Britain, you can't leave them out, because it was Great Britain that set it up, going back as far as 1917. The history is there, it is written. I was waiting as I end here to hear those who calling on the people to believe that it is God that gave the land to these people. But I hear them say nothing yet on it. I'm waiting for them. Is this it, God, that we were taught to believing in, that is doing this? Is this it, God, that gave these people the land that they're killing people so far? I want to leave that lollipop with you. Mr. Telesford, you enjoy yourself and have a nice day.
Have a good morning. Take it all the best. Hey folks, we drew for another break. Let's take a break, our final break on the program this morning. Let's take it and we come back in our final moments of the show. Stay with us.
Served Grenada for decades, we are the #1 and largest electrical supplier.
Hi, welcome to Sunny Electrical. How may I help?
We offer electrical wiring.
Coming up on Caribbean Medical, breast cancer.
And millions of women are every year surviving breast cancer and living full and complete lives.
So once again, promotion, prevention, these are areas that we need to strengthen on so that we can even get early detection and then we can walk from there.
Caribbean Medical, right here on this station.
I want to control your anger. There's a way to feel better. That's one thing to remember. No matter where you are, you can be a star. Stop and take a deep breath and relax yourself. Take another deep breath and relax it, and relax it. Eliminate violence.
On this episode of Caribbean Passport TV, we travel to St. Kitts and Nevis, visit a cocoa estate in Trinidad and Tobago, and listen to some steel pan music. And then we'll wind down with some paintings, right here on this station.
Welcome back. We have approximately 7 minutes left on today's show here on To The Point. Folks, give me a call, 435-2041. Just a few more minutes before we take a wrap. Let's go to the phone line. Caller, good morning, welcome.
Hello.
Good morning to you, sir.
Yeah, well, Mr. Lulu, it is alleged that he's blind, but I don't see Mr. Lulu as a blind man at all. Because what he does is speak the truth, not more than the truth. Because this thing starts from since after the guerrilla Hitler. They take these Jewish people that Hitler was executing or had them in concentration camp and brought them on the Palestine land and called them Israel. Israel was never a country. You go into biblical and I will tell you that Israel was Father Jacob's children. The 12 sons were the 12 tribes of Israel. But after now the American, the British, and then when they get rid of Hitler, they went down to Palestine land and built Israel in 1948. I would like a lot of people to go back and look into it and they will see. It happened in America before.
All right, caller. All right, that's it. That's it for your comment this morning?
It happened in America before. Because remember, these people kill out Sitting Bull and Suckle in Hawk and Geronimo and them and take over there and call it the United States of America. But may the good God who control this world have mercy and compassion upon the Americans. The so-called American. I'm sorry.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. 435-2041. We still can accommodate a few more calls before we take a wrap for today's program. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
GT, good morning.
Good morning to you.
For taking the call and trust you're well.
I'm well.
Just a couple of points I'd like to make. Firstly, we have been gifted some sky bridges for the airport, and they are currently sitting in the car park near the airport. The rain season will soon be upon us, and I just wondered, when will the government be fitting those sky bridges onto the terminal building? Because
I think the construction is in process, caller. And
it's in process, yeah?
Yes, it is. It is.
Okay, great. So then we hopefully will have those sky bridges attached to the airport.
Pretty soon, I'm assuming.
Hopefully. The second thing is, yesterday on GBN, during the morning time, you had the BBC and the radio station. You had two stations running alongside in parallel. So you couldn't actually hear one or the other. And trying to call somebody to say this is happening, nobody was answering the phone. So I think going forward, I don't know how they can stop it if something is programmed so that you can get the BBC first thing on a Sunday morning and then K105 kicks in. But both stations were running in parallel.
Okay.
And you couldn't hear one or the other.
All right, that will be looked into. Thanks for of course, for the observation.
So just to let you all know for the future.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a good one. 435-2041. 435-2041. 4 minutes moving out before we wrap today's program. To the point. It was an open line edition this morning. I want to thank all who contributed thus far. We still can accommodate a couple more, a call or two, if it comes really quickly before we take a wrap for today. Caller, good morning. You're welcome.
Hello, good morning. How are you?
Doing pretty well, sir. Good morning.
I wish you know this. Listen, that last caller, that woman that just speak there, she was absolutely right. When I put on my radio, BBC was running and GBN our next program was running together. Both of them was in conjunction.
All right.
So she absolutely correct. Anyway, I wishing you guys on the radio enjoy all yourselves and may the good Lord bless and keep all the through the day. Have a nice Christmas.
You too, sir. Have a good one. 435-2041. Let me see if I could grab some of the comments. I'm seeing Antonio's also telling me to take notice of the comments. If I see if I can run through them quickly before we take a wrap for today. What is necessary to try out this morning? We have Glenda saying, eat what you grow and grow what you eat. Cushion the worldwide, of course, exponential increase in price, even in the free and great America. Let's take this one from Antonio once again. We have to realize that what's going on in Gaza is not something that started 2 weeks ago. We have to know that the Hamas was created by Israel to fight Arafat and the PLO, and of course, so happened that the Hamas turned on Israel, fighting with the PLO. Let's take another caller before we wrap this morning. Just around 2 minutes left. Caller, good morning. You're welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
I would like the government to take out all the rum shop in the market and make space for them people that selling on the side of the road.
So there are rum shops in the market. That's what you're saying?
Too much rum shop in the market.
All right, caller. Thank you so much. 435. There's never a dull moment. 435-2041. 2 minutes moving out before 10 o'clock. May able to take one more before we take a wrap this morning. Let me take a peek at some of the comments once again. Let's go to the WhatsApp. Let me see what's on the WhatsApp this morning. And here's a comment from someone saying, good morning. Bought ground cinnamon, but when I put it in my porridge, it was yellow. It looked and tastes like turmeric. When I finished my porridge, the bowl was yellow. Some fell in my hands and it was yellow. Now it could be a mistake at the factory, but it's not on purpose. It's the Bureau of Standards. Who can I report it to? I am cheated either way. Grenada brand Kelly Mac ground cinnamon. Grateful if you could assist me. Well, I'm assuming you could. I'm not sure if you can go to if they call the the Bureau of Standards. I'm not sure. Maybe I could find out for you with that comment. Caller, good morning. Welcome. You could be my final caller this morning. Good morning.
Good morning once again. Relative to St. George's Market, the selling of drugs, vagrancy, ill discipline, indecency. That's what take over St. George's Market nowadays. A historical tourist attraction, as far as in growing up knowing it, has become nothing but a disaster nowadays. We need to check into that market.
All right.
That place.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. Hey, folks, it's straight up 10 a.m. in the studios here of Classic Radio and GBN TV. We're going to take a wrap for today's program after the point. I want to thank all who have contributed, whatever your phone calls, your comments. Lots of comments. And someone is asking if we're going to be carrying the 50th anniversary celebrations tomorrow. I am not too sure. I'll find out from the folks at programming if we're going to be carrying, and I'll certainly will let you know. 435-204, that's the number if you wanted to get on, but that's why we're going to take a wrap for today. Once again, thanks all who contribute some way or the other. Have yourself a good one, folks. That's what we say goodbye for today's edition of To The Point. Goodbye.